Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another day of Scraptember, where we are using a different prompt each day of the month of Scraptember to create our layouts. Today's is white background, and I am playing along with the Scrappy Sisters over on their channel, and there are a bunch of other people playing along. The link to the playlists are down below in case you are interested in going and checking that out. So today I'm starting with a white background because that is what our prompt is for. I'm also using a single photo, but it is cut at a larger size. It is cut print at a larger size. It's a 5x7, and this is a photo from the cruise that I did in February, where MK and I taught on board one of the Royal Caribbean ships, and we had a scrapbooking class, and these were a couple of the awesome ladies that attended. So this is Tina and Chris, and we had a really fun time. So I wanted to make sure I captured some photos with some of the ladies. I don't have photos with every single one of them, but definitely wanted to scrapbook what I've got here. And I really enjoyed meeting everybody who came and joined us for this cruise. We do have another one coming up in 2026, if that's not 26, 2025. If that's of interest to you, it's in February. I'll include the link down below for you in case you want to go and check out what that cruise is all about. So I've pulled some papers that are left over from the kit I had kitted up to go along with the papers that we did use in class. And I am gutting some of these papers so that I can use them either elsewhere on layouts or on this layout, because I do want to have quite a few paper layers behind my photo, and I want the colors represented on each side, but I don't really have enough paper to go all the way around the layout. So I am just using the scraps here and there, and I'm liking the way that it's looking and coming out. And I do know that these scraps are incredibly busy, especially that blue one. It's very busy with the background that is in the photo, but I think it actually all works at the end of the day. I did ink up most of those papers with some Black Soot Distress ink, and because the papers are represented in multiple places, I think it goes fine, and it's not a big deal. Like, it just creates a framework and doesn't really detract from the photo, in my opinion, once all of the embellishments are on there. Now, I am using a lot of stuff from the 49 and Market Sunburst collection. I have a few pieces left over from the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Coastal collection. That's where that big flower and the shell are from. And then the blue pieces are from the Sunburst collection from 49 and Market. Same with that black netting piece. And I know I want to add more of that netting, but I don't have any more. So I am going to use this stencil that I have from Dusty Attic, and at one point MK had these in her shop. I will check to see if she has them in her shop still, and if she does, I'll put a link down below for that as well, if that's something you're interested in. But I love this stencil. I think it's great for any of these types of, well, it's great just as a texture in your background, but it's great for anything that is beachy related. It's going to work great to mimic the black netting that is one of the laser cut elements from 49 and Market. And I'm just putting a little bit of Black Soot Distress ink through it in my 3 embellishment areas. I kind of had to figure out where I was going to put those embellishments before I could actually put this down. But I think I've got it pretty good. You will see at the end of the layout, I will add a little bit more to the upper right hand side, just to bring in a little bit of that netting to above the cluster that I'm going to create there as well. And then I am actually going to cut a little bit off of this lower left hand corner that is tucked under, and I will use it up in that upper right hand corner as well. So I'm liking how this is looking so far. I'm just kind of figuring out the placement. I want a little bit of blue in each one of those spots to kind of mimic the blue that is going around the background of the photo. The photo is very monochromatic, black and white and cream. And that was not intentional. It's just happened to be what we are wearing. Actually, MK's dress is navy blue, but in the photograph on the camera here, it looks black, but it is actually in navy blue. So this blue that I'm working with here is playing really well with that and kind of helping her dress to stand out just a little bit more than it actually does on camera here. But I'm liking how it's looking, and it's making me pretty happy right now. I will end up using a little bit of foam tape to help support some of these pieces that are going over that little chipboard frame, because the chipboard frame is adding a little bit of extra dimension, and I want to make sure I support the pieces that are layered on top of it really well so that they don't pop off. I wasn't 100% sure about this cluster up at the top. I'm not a huge bow fan, but I think I'm going to leave that green bow. It goes plays off of the green in the foliage in the other two clusters very nicely, and for this layout I actually don't mind it. Usually I put the bows down and I'm like, that's not really me. I don't know if I'm going to leave it, but in this case I think I'm going to leave it, and I will trim off that little piece in the cluster that is above the layout, but I'm not going to trim the bow off, and I don't mind if it's sticking out of the album or the page protector a little bit, because the album is taller than the page protector, and I think that'll be fine. It's not sticking up that far, and I think it looks good, so I'm just going to go with it. Now I'm also using a little bit more foam underneath some of the die cut pieces, just to give them a little bit more lift, even though not everything is up on top of the little frame in the lower left. I will use some of the foam to support, or to give some lift to some of the other pieces in the other clusters. So the circular piece that I'm working with there, not the porthole, but the little orangey peachy coral colored one, is also chipboard, so it is definitely giving a little lift over to that right hand side. And then the blue piece at the top, the little phrase sticker, is chipboard as well, so it's giving a little bit of pop. So I'm liking how that's looking so far. Now that I have so many layers on my photos, I also had to use a little bit of foam around the outside of that porthole, because the layers are kind of thick for the photograph, and I didn't want my little cluster coming off of it and you know, getting bent or anything like that. And then I am just aligning this other piece up at the top here and trimming it off. That has a little blue border around it, but I didn't feel like it was quite enough blue, so I'm adding that blue phrase, and I think that's going to help it look like it has more, like it matches the other two clusters better. And then I thought about bringing in a piece of a faux flare, but I don't end up bringing it in. I just didn't end up liking where it was at. But I do end up using a little bit of splatter, so I'm using Dina Wakley Media Gloss in Blushing, and then I am also going to use some gold Heidi Swap Color Shine, and again some Dina Wakley Media Gloss in Sand. And that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I really had fun making it for you. Well, for me, but I had fun sharing it with you. So thanks so much for watching again, and don't forget to check out everyone else playing along. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing as well. I really appreciate you taking the time to spend with me, and I will be back again real soon with another video for Scraptember. See you then. Bye-bye.